Okay, guys, welcome back to your Grimerica Outlawed Roundup Plus and Free Edition. December 8th already. I mean, I don't know if time is accelerating
Oh yeah.
or what is going on, but it just seems to keep going because this is Baby Nostradamus and Neanderthal Love Affair.
I
Great
almost
title this week. I gotta say, the great title. This is a good title week.
I should have named it Low Key Freaky. Have you seen that post?
Low key freaky.
Yeah, Katy Perry speaks out about her new romance with Justin Trudeau. He's low key freaky as fuck. Like I get scared sometimes.
Wow.
I mean, it's from Pooh Crave. I don't know if it's like, I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't lie about her saying that, right?
You think that means he's gay?
I don't know. I don't know what it means. I really
Honestly, it's hard to believe it's been 3 weeks already, I guess, since I got back from the Azores. I went by like fucking like that.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. I know. It's very, and that's what is that how long that I've had that COVID hanging around for?
I guess
No.
it's only been 2.5 weeks actually.
Yeah.
Man, that really split up
stuffed up from the sickness. It's just driving me nuts. I was so bent on not ever getting sick, this winter, and it's just so frustrating.
That really broke up November was just gone for me. It's funny because I was like, I get paid at the end of the month and stuff, so it was like it was the first time in my lifetime, I think, that I was ever surprised by my paycheck. Yeah, I'm like looking at it and waiting for it, but I was just like, holy fuck, how can it already be the end of the month? But here we are. I mean, I don't know. I was looking at some stuff that said time is accelerating as we get closer to the cataclysm.
Yeah.
I could just because we're getting older. See, I have kids that are growing up like weeds, so sometimes I attributed some of it to that, but you don't. And you know what else? Like I was saying on the show with Richard and Scott last night, I do attribute some of time speeding up to just not having to grind it out at a day job.
Yeah.
It's like when I'm having more fun doing my job and doing all of it is just a little more enjoyable.
Yeah.
So the time just sort of slips away on you.
That's what I think too. Yeah. Definitely.
So I don't know. Where do you want to start? Do you want to start with? I got stuff from all over the map. I have a pretty Israeli heavy second half for sure.
Okay.
And what do we got? I got this super long Admiral Byrd stuff that's like it's like a 10-minute clip that we could sort of shut down whenever we want. I know it. Let's start with this one. I got this one here. Well, now I want to play this clip and tell me what it makes you. I want to see if anything comes to mind. I think this is Danny Sheehan, is it?
Sheehan, yeah.
Danny Sheehan from Perrin, Perrin_RMAL on Twitter. So what? Just tell me now. Oh, what happened? This made me think of something else. Someone we interviewed.
Okay.
So what they've done is they started looking for people who are psychic to begin with, to get them to do it, and then they realized that that young children tend to be more psychic when they're younger, and then the culture kind of trains it out of them, attacks them for being weird or something's wrong with you, and that they untrain them to do this, so that they were searching for kids, and they were starting to recruit kids from military bases. They would go into the schools on the military base, and they would go into the families of intelligence officers and stuff to get their kids and test them, because they wanted to kind of keep it in-house so that it wouldn't leak out what they were doing. So they had this entire thing called the GATE program of recruiting young psychic kids. And then they started going into some of the public schools actually looking for them. And they would offer them a position in the GATE program. They would go and meet with their parents and give them large grants to the parents to authorize them to take their child and bring them to one of these GATE schools where they were going to give them special training and full scholarships to go to college and all of that, and that they were searching for the psychic kids.
And where are these gate schools?
That's where are these what?
The gate schools.
There's one
All over.
at the base of the Grumman field in the Southwest. There's a place there where they've actually recruited some of the parents, pay them to come to the base and help cook food and take care of the kids. You know, there's a whole program like these things going on.
And these kids matriculate and then go to college?
Yeah.
And have you spoken with them?
I've talked to the people who have spoken to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do these kids live normal lives with this? Do they retain their psychic abilities after the training?
Some leave the program and don't want to be in it because they realize that it's kind of a weapons program, that they're actually training them to try to pilot these craft for military purposes, and they don't want to have anything to do with it. You know,
so they're looking for psychic
or opposition to this program. But these things are going on right now.
So they're looking for psychic UAP controllers, like pilots.
Well, that's what he said at the end. Yeah.
It reminds me of Dave McGowan. I mean, because they have those, right? Is that what you're thinking?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Minus the UAP, but because they were looking at all the military kids, like the doors, but it was more from an artistic point of view.
Yeah, why not? Why wouldn't they have the same program?
Well, I think the gate is that the same as the gifted program?
Name, but for the kids that have musical talent, and they gather all them up, because I mean it's too much of a coincidence that all these bands turn out to be the sons and daughters of military officers.
Yeah.
But
the gate program, I think the gate program got expanded even to Canada. We had gifted. Did you have a gifted program in your schools?
I don't know.
So they had gifted class, right? Where they would get all these people and they would put them into the gifted class. I was just talking about this on a show recently, and there was a bunch of people that went through these gifted programs, but then I think they got canceled in the 90s maybe or something because it was like too unequal, right? You're treating the smart kids differently. They wanted everybody. So I don't think it went over well with our socialism, our kind of our liberalism tendencies that were starting to accelerate in the 90s.
Yeah, as our skid into patheticness.
Yeah. We should have just kept recruiting the gifted people into the military.
Well, maybe not the military, but I mean,
I know.
The thing about just splitting up that hierarchical thing, it's like, listen, buddy, as soon as you get out into the real world, you're going to figure it out pretty quick that those people that are quicker on their feet than you, that are smarter than you, are just going to probably accelerate ahead of you and there too, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but you might as well get used to it, because the thing that you fucking realize right out of you get out of school is life is far from fucking fair. And
yeah,
some people are getting ahead and other people are not. So
yeah, I agree.
And that's just the nature of the beast. Anyway, where do you want to go to next?
Let's just follow up with Richard Dolan talking about, like, speaking of UAPs and stuff. So this is just him talking about the breakaway civilization here and how kind of about current disclosure.
I think they have come in greater numbers more recently because somehow they know that now is the time. Now is the time that something really, really big is about to happen in terms of our technology, in terms of our cybernetic interaction with technology and mind, in terms of, you could say, our general consciousness, if you want to go there, and in terms of our genetic bottleneck, and in terms of the transformation of our society into a kind of technocracy, which I am quite confident is what they have. There's that universality. I think they have come in greater numbers.
Yeah, I like it. I feel like he's onto something. I just trust Richard's analysis on a lot of stuff.
You think they're coming in?
Yeah, I think the phenomena is coming. Yeah.
No. What do you think about this new comet 3i Atlas having some sort of effect on or being somewhat responsible for the increased volcanism on the planet?
I don't think that's the case. I think it's solar.
Solar?
Yeah.
I was thinking that lately that it could be. I wonder if you could have something just come by the planet close enough that doesn't even have to hit it, it just comes by close enough that can like pull up a bunch of water anyway and pull up a bunch of dirt and equalize the gravity in some ways and just sort of wreck up the place that way, maybe even pull the crust around.
Well, Richard Sauter had something about the tail, like we're going to be passing through the tail in April. He had a date in April where it's like we're going to be passing through the tail of Three Eye Atlas. So, but here's an analysis of it from the Curiosity Files. I think is this the one? No, that's not the other. I've got these. I signed up for these Curiosity Files. It's a Substack. It's quite actually really cool. So I'm gonna just skip through all that right now and just go to the Three Eye Atlas because you asked. So forensic analysis of this features something that no comet has ever displayed. Have you seen this?
No.
So occasionally a signal breaks through the static and establishes order of nature. The latest visual evidence emerging from the study of this interloper known as Three Eye Atlas has shifted the conversation from mere observation to baffling forensic reality. So it says here there's a new footage captured by Ray's astrophotography, strips away the blur of distance to expose a structure of unnerving mathematical precision. The footage has been subject to intense scrutiny because it's only the third confirmed object in history, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to skip by some of this stuff. There's a picture of it. The clockwise spin found within. It's at the very heart of the object. When the brightness curve is flattened, a distinct luminosity clustering reveals a rotating spin wave pattern that moves clockwise, not the random noise of space. Isn't that strange, eh? An anomalous linear emission. So equally significant is the presence of two opposing linear emissions positioned above and below the central mass. When isolated through green channel extraction and inverse contrast mapping, these features retain a rigid straight line geometry. So, but I see what you're saying now because it is close.
You know what?
It is
Whoa,
close.
whoa. That the rigid straight line geometry, that sort of makes me wonder about if it has like two moments of inertia instead of one. Kind of like the moon seems to, right? Because even if the moon was, if the moon should equalize into some sort of moment of inertia that causes that like tidal lock could at least cause that tidal lock to differ. If it got hit by something or something, it should spin it around a bit. And there's no evidence that seems to happen, which points to that it's pulling on the front of it and it's also pulling on the back of it enough to lock it in.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if because then the implication of that being that the moon would be hollow.
Right. So even though we cannot conclude what mechanism generates these patterns, the data from the latest image deepens the scientific puzzle. Natural or artificial, inert or active, the object is behaving in ways that challenge every known model of comet morphology. But I see what you're saying now because we're already in December and this is supposed to be the closest it is, right?
Any day now, I thought, but who knows? It seems like I might just be ignorant on this, but it seems like the goalposts keep moving.
Yeah. But there is more volcanic activity that happened too. I think there's something happened in Russia recently and somewhere else since we last talked about it on the show.
Oh, a bunch more, dude. A bunch more. Did you see that crazy like lava spouts going off in Hawaii?
Yeah, crazy.
And then there's a bunch of people freaking out right now about the Vancouver one. Not the Vancouver, but the one off the coast that fault.
San Andreas Fault?
Yeah.
Holy
All
shit.
right, you want to go to Baby Nostradamus?
Sure, let's do that.
It's kind of a longer clip, but
I know which one this is.
have you seen it already?
I had a hard time watching it, so
It's hard to watch. Do you think it's real?
I don't know.
We're in the age of you never know what's real. All right, let's listen to Baby Nostradamus.
Well,
So what were you just telling me though?
oh yeah. There's gonna be a tsunami and flood, but they call it the flood 2.0. And there's gonna be a wave and there's gonna be a tsunami tsunami and like a flood.
Yeah.
And then the like tsunami's gonna be 800 meters in the air.
I wonder how that looks. 800 meters.
I don't even know how big 800 meters is.
That's a half a mile.
Yeah.
Exactly a half a mile. So that'd be like 2,500 feet.
Like, I wonder how Buddy's, that Buddy that does those video graphics of it. I wonder how that fits in with his model.
So, well, the interesting thing about the 3-Eye Atlas stuff, whatever's going on there, and I don't know anything about it, if it's real or not, but I'm just listening to Velikovsky's one book there. What's it called? Worlds in Collision. And there's a chapter on all these ancient texts that talk about comets in the sky right before cataclysm that could be seen during the day, or comets that got so close to Earth that the Earth's gravity was like pulling its tail around.
No way.
And then that caused shit to go down on Earth. I was actually wondering lately if that, because there was something going on about right on around the time Caesar was killed, which had to be like what, 200 BC or something like that, in around there. There being a comet that you could see during the day. I got to dig into that a little bit more, because in these books you just hear shit and then you got to dig into it to find out if that's bullshit or go to the original source.
Yeah.
But that got me thinking to, maybe there's more to like the year zero than just the BC AD bullcrap. Maybe it's like
a reset.
Or there seems to be some mud flood that could have happened in there somewhere. I don't know. And the only evidence I'm doing that is not, some of that Tartaria stuff gets a little weird for me. I don't know. Some of it's pretty intriguing. Some of it's a little over the top, but you still got to explain to me how all these giant chunks of Rome got buried under 60, 80, 100 feet of dirt.
Well, you know what the Ragnarok book talks about this quite a bit, is that's the drift, right? They talk about it being the drift, and they think it's partly from comet tails and stuff, that they think back then, this is in the 1800s, and I don't know why we've never talked about this theory in the future, but that all this debris from passing comets, like the Earth goes through it, and it just fucking covers us full of shit, right? So I don't know. I haven't really been able to wrap my head around that, besides it being like a real mud flood caused by like a vapor canopy collapse or from something that happens on the Earth. But I mean, maybe there's something to these big comets with a big tail that, like, what if we go through a
well,
huge
what really got me thinking about it is this stuff with the Great Lakes lately, because I never really realized that before, that when it gets super windy, the wind pushes the lake over from one side to the other. So the shoreline will go out 30 feet on one side and be pushed in on the other side. And it's like, man, and the moon's pulling the shit around, and it's like, man, it might not take much because the water, you got to think that there's way more water there than you realize, because there's like the weight of the water is crushing it down. So if there was just anything to sort of release the pressure from the weight of the water on itself, it's like it wants to, that bottom, there's like that bottom water wants to expand. So it might not take much to pull that shit up over the land. Anyway, should we go back to baby Nostradamus? I mean, this could just be child abuse too.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's kind of big.
It sounds big.
It's bigger than the house.
I'm sure it is.
It's almost bigger than the planet. But there's gonna be stuff
Like maybe listening to too many catastrophe podcasts with the kid in the backseat.
like sharks, and I think there's gonna be like great white sharks when the flood comes, because like Guy said, there's gonna be sharks and stuff. I don't know. That's all.
Okay.
It's not AI. It's real life. Like, I'm horrified. Are we all just
horrified? Just horrified.
Just gonna die today when the flood happens.
Well, I
I
hope
mean-
it's not today. We're screwed. We ain't got a boat.
What?
Well, maybe he's his pulling up past life stuff, right? That's what
Maybe.
I would think. Maybe he's like
It's not
Velikovsky
today.
or
Okay, well that's good.
They did know, but I think the Earth just rebooted. And I don't know. I just don't know that everybody that's living here and like living in the Earth thinks the Earth is real, but it's not actually real because some scientists didn't find out. There's a glitch.
So what is our life then?
I don't know. Maybe it's just a computer.
Like a simulation?
Yeah, I think it's a simulation. I feel like it's like a scientist testing like little tiny people. They really thought that reality was actually real down here, but actually little people like us are actually kind of real. But that's all.
What do you think? Baby Nostradamus or too much TikTok?
this baby is a liar. We're in a simulation. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You never know with these kids these days.
With the Indigo kids?
Let's stay on some of this esoteric stuff for a while here, because I can save some of my more like, EU like geopolitical stuff for the second half or something. But this is Palmer Luckey. You're gonna. This is gonna blow you away. Have you heard this little tiny clip yet?
No.
Do you believe that space will become the defining domain for 21st century national defense?
So he's talking about the space, right? And this is this is Palmer Luckey, the guy that was on Joe Rogan talking about. He's the one developing some of these like sort of VR tools for the military and stuff.
Actually believe that the subterranean domain will be the defining word space, but nobody agrees with me, and every time I talk about it, I sound insane to people. But I'll tell you that.
Do you believe that space will become?
So he thinks it's the subterranean domain, which is pretty cool hearing it from him. So he's obviously studying like some USOs and all that kind of stuff.
Would a USO be considered subterranean?
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be
under the
submarine?
water, like, well, yeah, I think subterranean and suboceanic,
Submarine?
And then here's Jason. Here's
Already
Jason.
have a word for that.
Submarine.
Yeah.
Well, USOs is unidentified submersible object, right?
Yeah, but subterranean would be more to me like underground cave systems or stuff like that. Underground city
So
systems.
that's more like inner Earth kind of thing. You mean?
I don't know.
Or just bunkers and like big bunkers.
These days, you can never rule out that when he says subterranean, he doesn't mean submarine because he's retarded.
So here's guess what Jason Reja Georgiani is going to say about this.
I hear Colombia, the country of Colombia, is making cocaine. They have cocaine manufacturing plants. Okay.
I hear Colombia is making. I mean, holy, where have you been the last 5 decades?
And then they sell us their cocaine. We appreciate that very much. But yeah, anybody that's doing that and selling it into our country is subject to attack.
Anybody who's selling cocaine into our country is subject to attack.
Did he say we appreciate that very much?
Yeah, I think he's being sarcastic. So what do you think Reza Georgiani thinks about that?
Who's Reza Georgiani again?
He's one of our past guests. He wrote Closer Encounters. He's the guy that also talked about he wrote about Prometheism.
What's that got to do with drugs?
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Like, this is a test, Darren.
CIA drug money.
Okay, he says.
No.
Well,
wait. Breakaway civilization drug money.
Okay. What they're not telling you about the war against the drug cartels is that it's completely connected to disclosure. Trump wanted access to and control over the breakaway projects tech. He was denied. So now he's trying to cut off the main source of funding for those programs.
Yes, I nailed it.
Pretty good, eh?
I should get a prize.
Here's the receipts. Magi. This is from Magi. The United States is planning to invade South America to erase the CIA's drug trafficking competition. The CIA has been importing drugs in the United States with your tax money for a very long time and wants to continue cornering the market. No, this person is confused. This is Jason responding to that. Elements of the CIA and other entities, including corporate ones, have been working with and through the Latin American cartels. Trump is trying to cut off the black budget that's generated by this drug trafficking. Interesting. Ashton Forbes with little, what do you call that on your chin? Little finger on your chin.
With the pondering.
The pondering. Michael Schellenberger posts here. Marco Rubio is the most powerful Secretary of State since Kissinger. As such, it's significant.
But Kissinger is a piece of shit.
Yeah, power. As such, it is significant that he believes the U.S. has recovered alien tech and given it to private military contractors. A senior Rubio advisor says we're headed toward massive disclosure. I mean, I hope Trump is the disclosure president. I mean, I really do. I just don't see it happening the way we would all wish it to happen, but you never know. Interesting that Rubio apparently sort of poo-pooed that whole age of disclosure thing and kind of just made light of the whole thing. So I don't know what that tells us about how maybe Rubio is just waiting for the right timing or something, but
poo-poo. All right, well, let's go. I mean, there's no time like this. Then we're talking about inner earth and that kind of stuff to, I guess, go to this Admiral Byrd one that I could have cut down, but I just didn't get around to it. But I do want to play it, so just tell me when you've had enough of it.
47. The land beyond the poles. The exploration flight over the North Pole. The inner Earth. My secret diary. I must write this diary in secrecy and obscurity. It concerns my Arctic flight of the 19th day of February in the year of 1947. There comes a time when the rationality of men must fade into insignificance, and one must accept the inevitability of the truth. I am not at liberty to disclose the following documentation in this writing. Perhaps it shall never see the light of public scrutiny, but I must do my duty and record here for all to read one day. In a world of greed and exploitation of certain of mankind, one can no longer suppress that which is truth. Flight log, Base Camp Arctic. February 19th, 1947. 0600 hours. All preparations are complete for our flight northward, and we are airborne with full fuel tanks at 0610 hours. 0910 hours. Vast ice and snow below. 0915 hours. In the distance is what appears to be mountains. 1000 hours. We are crossing.
Wouldn't it be awesome to be fucking doing this back in the day when like no one's been there yet and you're just like ripping out there to check shit out for the first time? I could do planes maybe. I've been watching stuff on YouTube lately about the first dudes trying to go up through the Arctic and boats, and a lot of those turned into real horror stories. So I don't know about that so much. I did watch.
Dude, that's why there's a whole genre of fantasy / sci-fi / fiction based on fact novels from back then. I mean, we've got 6 or 7 of them on our adult brain, like on our. I mean, these like there's a whole. People were constantly fascinated by this, and you wonder how much of it is like real and how much of it is like there's the Smoky God, Paradise Found. Well, Paradise Found is kind of less of a novel and more of kind of a documented thing. The Iron Republic, H.P. Lovecraft's The Mountains of Madness. There's a whole bunch of them. Where Erewhon, Edidorpa. I mean, what, like, why were they so fascinated by it?
I don't know.
Crossing over the small mountain range and still proceeding northward as best as can be ascertained. Beyond the mountain range is what appears to be a valley with a small river or stream running through the center portion. There should be no green valley below. Something is definitely wrong and abnormal here. We should be over ice and snow. To the port side are great forests growing on the mountain slopes. Our navigation instruments are still spinning. The gyroscope is oscillating back and forth. 10:05 hours. I alter altitude to 1,400 feet and execute a sharp left turn to better examine the valley below. It is green with either moss or a type of tight-knit grass. The light here seems different. I cannot see the sun anymore. We make another left turn and we spot what seems to be a large animal of some kind below us. It appears to be an elephant. No, it looks more like a mammoth. This is incredible, yet there it is. Decrease altitude to 1,000 feet and take binoculars to better examine the animal. It is confirmed. It is definitely a mammoth-like animal. Report this to base camp. 10:30 hours. The external temperature indicator reads 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Continuing on our heading now. Navigation instruments seem normal now. I am puzzled over their actions. Attempt to contact base camp. Radio is not functioning. 11:30 hours. Countryside below is more level and normal, if I may use that word. Ahead we spot what seems to be a city. This is impossible. Aircraft seems light and oddly buoyant. The controls refuse to respond. My God, off our port and starboard wings are a strange type of aircraft. They are closing rapidly alongside. They are disc-shaped and have a radiant quality to them. They're close enough now to see the markings on them. It is a type of swastika. This is fantastic. Where are we? What has happened? I tug at the controls again. They will not respond. We are caught in an invisible vice grip of some type. 11:35 hours. Our radio crackles and a voice comes through in English with what perhaps is a slight Nordic or Germanic accent. The message is, "Welcome, Admiral, to our domain. We shall land you in exactly 7 minutes. Relax, Admiral. You're in good hands. I know."
You want to keep going, or?
I don't know. Sure.
The engines of our plane have stopped running. The aircraft is under some strange control and is now turning itself. The controls are useless. 11:40 hours. Another radio message received. We begin the landing process now, and in moments the plane shudders slightly and begins a descent as though caught in some great unseen elevator. The downward motion is negligible, and we touch down with only a slight jolt. 11:45 hours. I am making a hasty last entry in the flight log. Several men are approaching on foot toward our aircraft. They are tall with blonde hair. In the distance is a large shimmering city, pulsating with rainbow hues of color. I do not know what's going to happen now, but I see no signs of weapons on those approaching. I hear now a voice ordering me by name to open the cargo door. I comply. End log.
I mean, it sounds like it's right out of that genre of books I was just talking about.
You think he was writing a book?
No, I think that's his journal. I mean, I don't think anybody's really debunked that. It seems too fantastic right now listening to it like that, but I don't think anybody's really debunked that it's been fake or anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's where do you want to go next?
Well, I mean, I'd like to go to your backyard.
My backyard?
Yeah, Jay Anderson posts this.
Doesn't Jay live in Europe?
Yeah. But this is a glowing sphere that appeared without warning over Alberta. I was kind of saving it from last week. As residents watched as it hovered, then vanished without a trace. I mean, look at this thing. It really does look like that. Doesn't look fake. And it doesn't look like a sun because it looks like in this top one here, you can kind of see the green behind it. What do you think that is?
Yeah, ball lightning.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. What is ball lightning? Rare weather phenomena.
That'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time out in the nothing. You'd think I'd see that sometime.
One of the biggest ball lightnings I've ever seen. Scientists still don't know how to make them or what exactly causes them. Personally, I believe they're UAPs that get hit by lightning and end up drunk or stunned till rebooting. Basically, cloaking field drops. Oh, I like that. That's a good.
I wonder if what happened if you touched one or shot one.
Well, it says here they're not to be messed with. They caused injuries to people and incinerated animals. They had profound negative effects on people's health. If you see a blue orb, run like hell, Dr. Colm Kelleher.
Good to know.
And yeah, I mean, I guess it's the orange orbs that are okay then, and the blue ones are not good.
Funny how nature color coordinates things like that for you.
Yeah.
You want to go to Evolution is a Lie?
Sure.
But this is Real Don Keith on Twitter.
Is it true that the discovery of soft tissue in dinosaur fossils completely upends the evolutionary view of dinosaurs?
Well, I think so, because if you'd have asked an evolutionist 30 years ago if we'd ever find soft tissue in dinosaur fossils, you'd say no, because dinosaurs died out millions of years ago. But there are dozens and dozens and dozens of examples where they've not only found soft tissue, but ligaments, red blood cells, and even more recently, where they found unfossilized DNA in the fossils of dinosaurs. Now, DNA is a very, very fragile molecule. Even if you were to freeze it, it would still decay. It would have a maximum life of about 125,000 years, yet the last dinosaur supposedly died out 66 million years ago. And while evolutionists may resort to special pleading, iron-rich solutions that may preserve this soft tissue, it's actually been found to do the opposite. It actually decays soft tissue.
Is it true that the discovery of soft tissue in...
Have you heard of this before? I can't hear you.
No, it's good. I like it.
What does Grok say?
What do you want me to ask him?
Ask him about the soft tissue in dinosaurs mean that they need to be younger than 125,000 years.
It's sad that we're not using ChatGPT anymore. It's so slow.
It's too slow to use on the show.
No, the discovery of soft tissue or soft tissue-like remnants in dinosaur fossils does not require dinosaurs to be younger than 25,000 years old, let alone prove that the fossils are only thousands of years old. This claim is frequently made in young Earth creationist circles, but does not hold up under scientific scrutiny. Here's why. What was actually found in 2005, Mary Schweitzer and colleagues reported flexible, transparent blood vessels, cells, blah, 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 biomolecules. Similar finds have been reported, and that was in a Tyrannosaurus rex femur and other Cretaceous dinosaurs. Similar finds have since been reported in multiple specimens, including hadrosaurs, Triceratops, and even older fossils. Why the tissue can survive for tens of millions of years. Iron-mediated cross-linking, encapsulating and sealing molecular stability of collagen and osteocytes in exceptional conditions, and independent dating confirms great age. So the same bone that yields soft tissue have been dated by multiple radiometric methods to 66 to 80 million years old. And why radiocarbon is irrelevant, it talks about that. Peer-reviewed consensus. So I mean, I don't know if Grok's kind of taking from the mainstream narrative, but I like his answer.
It's a pretty good answer. Pretty good answer. We'll leave it up to the public.
Well, speaking of ancient stuff, I mean, did you know that the Neanderthals may never really went truly extinct?
Of course,
they just sort of had love affairs with us.
I've met some, and I think aren't we? Weren't Bob and Doug McKenzie part Neanderthal?
Well, my friend's daughter just got her analysis back, and she's got part Neanderthal in her. Pretty interesting. They may have never gone truly extinct, according to new research, at least not in the genetic sense. A new math model has explored a fascinating scenario in which Neanderthals gradually disappeared, not through true extinction, but through genetic absorption into a more prolific species. Maybe this seems obvious. I don't know. But according to the analysis, the long and drawn out love affair between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals could have led to almost complete genetic absorption within 10,000 to 30,000 years. It's simple and not regional, but it provides a robust explanation for the observed Neanderthal demise, argue computational chemist Andrea Amadei from the University of Rome. Once the idea that Neanderthals and Homo sapiens interbred was a radical notion, and yet now modern genome studies and archaeological evidence have provided strong evidence that our two lineages were hooking up and reproducing right across Eurasia for tens of thousands of years. Today, people of non-African ancestry have inherited about 1 to 4% of their DNA from Neanderthals. No one knows why they disappeared from the face of our planet roughly 40,000 years ago, but experts tend to agree that there are probably numerous factors that played a role, like environmental changes, loss of genetic diversity, or competition with Homo sapiens. Like all models, this new one is based on imperfect assumptions. It uses birth rates of modern hunter-gatherer tribes to predict how quickly small Neanderthal tribes would have been engulfed by a much larger human population, given how frequently it seems that we were interbreeding. But here's the map. So there's Denisova way over here in, looks like sort of central North Russia. And then here's, look at this big blob here in the Near East. So that's right, like at the top of Saudi Arabia, right in Israel, Egypt, Turkey, underneath the Black and the Caspian Sea, where most of them seem to be. And the results are consistent with recent archaeological discoveries and align with the body of evidence that suggests the decline of Neanderthals in Europe was gradual rather than sudden. And that's it for that one. I can keep going on these this curiosity files if you want. This is a quick one here. This is astronomers discovered a giant interstellar tunnel that may secretly link our solar system to other galaxies. Have you heard about this?
Ooh.
I mean, this is just like right out of,
Where is
sci-fi
it?
again, right? I don't know. For decades, space between the stars was thought to be mostly empty, a vacuum punctuated by the occasional dust cloud or rogue particle. But new observations challenge that belief. According to recent published findings by a research team at the Max Planck Institute for Extraterrestrial Physics, our solar system may be embedded within a vast structure of low density, high temperature gas, complete with branching tunnel that links it to distant regions of the galaxy. Using data from the X-Rosetta X-ray telescope, scientists have identified a possible corridor of hot plasma. Again, we get into this plasma. Hot plasma extending from the local hot bubble, the low-density region of space that contains our solar system. So low-density region of space that contains our solar system towards the Centaurus and Canis major constellations. Wow. If confirmed, this tunnel could be part of a larger interconnected network of plasma pathways across the Milky Way. I mean, why isn't this huge story right now? Potentially reshaping our understanding of how matter and energy flow through interstellar space. I didn't get into like all the instrumentation and the science behind it. I just thought I'd leave it at that. And actually reading these things on Google has been super crazy with all these ads. When you get used to using Brave, going to Google is just painful.
I got the ad blocker extension.
Yeah, that's good. And then there's this Moai one. I thought we'd kind of advertise our Easter Island trip here.
Contactcap.com.
This is from the Debrief. This is Micah Hanks's website. Hundreds of Easter Island Moai statues can now be explored in unprecedented detail thanks to this interactive 3D model. So it says a team of archaeologists at Binghamton University combined over 22,000 images of the primary quarry on Rapa Nui to create the first ever interactive 3D model. Unlike the more famous coastal platform that contains over a dozen Moai statues facing the ocean, the 3D model's creator chose the quarry because it contains over 1,000 statues in various forms of completion. Now we get to see that, right? We get to go to the quarry.
Yeah.
Because that's apparently incredible. Like the study also found evidence that the quarry was used by several different tribes working alongside each other. There's a map. Is that a map of the whole island right there, or
That'd be the whole island.
is that whole? Let's see if I highlighted anything else here. I wanted to sort of skip through this. By the completion of the aerial sorties, the team had successfully captured around 22,000 images, 30-meter increments. He said it was amazing how far the technology that allowed the team to collect data and create this interactive VR model of the quarry. Users who want to explore the model will find a variety of built-in controls, functions, including ability to zoom in and pan across individual statues and quarry features. Because the Raraku quarry is located within a rugged, steep volcanic crater, the team said traversing it on foot is too dangerous, making this model a priceless research tool. It has everything you can possibly imagine about Moai construction because that's where they did most of the construction. It's always been this treasure of information and cultural heritage, but it's remarkably underdocumented. When discussing the potential uses of their new map of Easter Island Moai statue quarry, he said their model could open the door for researchers by providing a three-dimensional replica and allowing everyday people the unusual opportunity to visit the island without leaving home. But then they go on to say here, we can say here, go look at it if you want to see different kinds of carving, fly around and see the stuff. It's really exciting to bring these two things together. We're documenting something that really has needed to be documented, but in a way that's really comprehensive and shareable. But this guy says what he would really like to do. This is back to the guy that works there at the quarry, I think. Go visit it yourself, learn from it. The researcher concluded, this is an incredible landscape of stuff that you could really go visit that you'll want to see.
Contact.com. Come there with us. There's 6 spots left or 7. You can come with us, have a good time, not worry about anything except, having a time. Let's do this next. From Red Pill Bot. Red Pill Bot. Hope this ain't AI. I don't think it is. We were warned in.
This is not prophecy, but prediction.
We were warned in 1997 about today, is what it says at the beginning there.
This is not prophecy, but prediction. If this was predicted 27 years ago, somebody knew something. Okay, here's the list. This is an abbreviated list. I could have made it much longer. You know I can. I didn't. Okay, you ready for the list? Fast mutating viral disease pandemics. Genetically developed vaccines. DNA database tracking. DNA chips. Get this one. 1997. Gene-based pharmaceuticals. Transmitting genetic instructions for a disease process. How about this one? You ready for it? Wait for it. Artificial intelligence to determine gene patterns. 27 years ago, who had heard about AI? Apparently they had. How about this one? Robots for doing genome sequencing. And then, this one blew me away. Using recombinant DNA for making spike proteins. 1997?
Wow, that's crazy.
It gets even worse. Smart homes. They have a whole chapter on smart homes / smart cities. This one will absolutely floor you. It did me. In 1997, and this is, you can do the word search and research yourself. They predicted, not 2025, but by 2020, that people would be working from home virtually. Oh, come on. Nuclear devices causing widespread contamination. Nanotech devices, this stuff was never even heard of. Digital currency, and last but certainly not least, vaccination programs. I'm sorry, I got to chuckle, because if I don't, I'll cry. Vaccination programs run by organizations like the World Health Organization for a global killer that has yet to emerge. First printing, February 1997.
I don't know what book it is, though. I should have figured that out, I guess.
Well, there was another geopolitical book that I was reading about from 2002, I think, and it was about the mass migration and the loss of what's happening in our culture, which is pretty mind blowing. I think it was from oh, no, I can't remember his name. If I think about it, I'll let you know. Pat Buchanan. Pat Buchanan's book. That is very prescient. I don't have a clip.
You got no more clips?
Oh, I got lots.
I got
Lots. I mean,
3 more for the free section.
all right. Well, we do yours, and then maybe if I have time, otherwise I'll save mine for next week.
Okay, let's start with this one. A little recap of David Icke over the years. I mean, I gotta say, I was somewhat impressed. Makes me wonder if he's right about the reptilians.
I'm delighted that there's so much laughter in the audience tonight.
But no, it's
but just let me say this.
They're laughing at you. They're not laughing with you.
Fine.
That interview at the time, it changed everything for you, didn't it?
Well, it changed everything in the sense of I couldn't walk down any street in Britain without being laughed at by most of the people.
You're still obviously bitter about people's rejection of your ideas.
No, absolutely not. What I am is frustrated at watching Orwell's 1984 unfold in front of our eyes by the day.
20 years ago.
Because my children and your children, thank you, are going to have to live in the timescale when the most basics of freedoms are being taken away.
Yeah,
and this is happening all over the world, and it's coordinated. I mean, does anyone really think that George W. Bush is running America? He probably couldn't tie his shoelaces, never mind run a country. Tell me about the project for the new American century. Tell me about it.
I know nothing about it.
Exactly. Well, let me tell you then. In the 1990s, an organization was created in America called the Project for the New American Century, calling for a series of conquests of countries, one of which was Iraq.
No, but honestly,
you say to me,
America is an open society, isn't it?
Oh, please!
It's not an open society. Well, I thought in my innocence that most Americans would know what was going on in America.
God!
But it's all you know it all, and you see how preposterous it is.
What, the fact that you think America's an open society?
No.
Absolutely ludicrous, Terry. I've never heard anything so stupid in your life.
Okay. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. David Icke, thank you. Good luck with.
I mean, he seems to be ahead of his time, right?
Yeah, it is interesting, especially now with all the immigration, like the Great Replacement conspiracy and all that. Right? People were talking about mass migration 20 years ago. Everybody thought you're crazy or you're racist, and now we're actually seeing the disastrous effects of it.
All right, here's Mossad on Joe Rogan.
Well, you ask a question about evil. It's worth investigating.
What is it?
My position on this has changed radically. So it used to be that I would say that I thought evil was an extremely rare phenomenon. And the reason that I thought it was extremely rare is because it's a terrible strategy, right? If we say that ruthlessness, doing anything to get ahead, is a good strategy, right? Because you can always not do stuff, right? You have every move available to you if you're just perfectly amoral. But evil has to be something beyond amoral. Evil has to be something that intentionally does harm, that delights in it, right? In order to merit that term.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good strategy, right? You want, if game theoretically, the ideal strategy is perfect amorality, because it can behave morally when that's advantageous, and it can behave immorally when that's advantageous. That is inherently the best. I'm not saying it's good, it's not defensible, but I'm saying just game theoretically, that is going to be the most effective strategy, is one that can be moral and amoral, or can behave in whatever way is ideal for the individual circumstance. To delight in doing harm is to miss the opportunity to be good when it's the right thing to do. So I would have expected evil to be a very rare phenomenon because it's self-extinguishing, right? If you're doing harm for its own sake, that's not a way to get ahead. You'll be outcompeted by people who are amoral at the very least. But I see so many things that strike me as meriting that label. I mean, for example, the pedophilia that you're talking about.
Right.
I don't understand the ability to destroy a child for your own gratification. Like, I'm sorry, that merits the term. And it apparently is more common than most of us have believed until recently.
What do you think? That's kind of big stage to hear them, you know?
Yeah, I listened to that whole interview. It was really good. Yeah.
Did you?
They went pretty deep into a lot of that stuff. I like him. I like him. I don't think he's Mossad.
You don't think he's Mossad? You don't think Mossad Boy's Mossad?
Well, maybe his brother is. I don't know.
you
Yeah, his
think?
brother probably is. But
And he's just the not Mossad, also famous brother. Okay. Interesting theory.
well, I've listened to him and his wife on a lot on their podcast, and I just
can't listen
don't get
to his
the.
wife.
You know, what?
I can't listen to her. She needs to shut the fuck up. Honestly. Whoa. What's his name again? Whoa, bro. Whoa. Oh my God.
Travel inside space-time to Andromeda is not feasible for the foreseeable future. What if we don't have to go through space-time? What if space-time is just a headset? It really is just a headset. And we don't have to go 2.4 million light years to get there. We learn the code outside of space-time, and we can just change the code, just like the Grand Theft Auto. In Grand Theft Auto, the car has to drive through the roads to get from A to B. But not if you look at the code. In the code, I just need to change the value of a register, and all of a sudden the position of the car is now at B. It was at A, and I put it at B.
Is this what time travel?
This would be like, this would appear like immediate time travel or immediate space travel.
Is there anything within the laws of physics that tells you that this isn't possible?
It's impossible inside space-time. If you only use, so inside space-time, it's impossible.
But outside of what we know about space-time?
A theory that's outside of space-time that properly contains space-time as a projection of the theory allows us to then build technologies that aren't restricted to space-time.
So do you think we're getting closer to being able to edit the code of this experience so that we can do things we never thought were possible, and that things that sit outside of what we know within the laws of physics?
That's exactly what I'm working on right now.
That's what he's working on. Do you know who that is?
No, I should know.
Donald Hoffman, MIT professor and cognitive scientist.
I just heard his name today, I think, for the first time. Or not for the first time, but I heard somebody talk about him. Our guest tomorrow mentions him in his book.
There you have it. Do you want to play one more clip or just go to the...
Yeah, play another one, I guess.
I don't have another one.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't I read through my other stuff from the Curiosity Files, because that's kind of more first half stuff, and then you can transition us over there maybe, or no, I guess we can't, right? Because can't do both at once. So this is I'll save that one because there's a clip in there too. So this is from the Curiosity Files here, top stories. I think I highlighted a couple things here. This is pretty cool. Archaeological breakthrough contradicts the timeline of human civilization again. The monumental evidence consists of stone tools excavated at sites in the Philippines, Indonesia, and Timor-Leste, providing strong evidence that as early as 40,000 years ago, ancient seafarers demonstrated technological sophistication that rivals that of much later civilizations. So we're getting bumped back again here. Oh, there's that interstellar tunnel one that I read already. Let's see if that's it. That's it on that one. Let me go to this one. Lucy. Remember Lucy? She was neighbors with an even older human ancestor. Fossils reveal a jumble of bones and teeth. Confirms two species of human ancestor lived side by side over 3.3 million years ago in Ethiopia's Far Rift. What?
Lucy had a gangbang.
Isn't that crazy? So now we're getting to 3.3 million. And then 60,000 years ago, humans arrived.
So 3.3 million modern
Humans? Well, it says human ancestor lived for 3.3 million. So that's kind of weird, eh?
So that could be like Neanderthal or something. Denisovian.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not Homo sapien is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of non-humans, hobbits, humans arrived in Australia and may have shared the land with hobbits 60,000 years ago. New genetic research confirms modern humans arrived.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
That explains it. You've got some hobbit in you.
We've been interbred with archaic humans like hobbits.
You're part hobbit.
I'm part hobbit.
You have big hairy feet
No, I don't. I mean, I did for Halloween once
when you're dressed up like a hobbit.
when I dressed up as Bilbo Baggins or Frodo, actually.
Frodo, gay Frodo. All right. Well, there you have it, guys. We hope you enjoy our roundup. If you do enjoy it, let us know. Spamgram, gram@grammatica.com. Also, the best way, if you do enjoy it, is to sign up at grammaticaoutlawed.ca for $6 a month and get the second half, where we get into more spicy stuff and just keep rounding up. And it's a good time. And we'd appreciate it if more of you signed up. We appreciate the ones of you that are signed up, but we need more of you to sign up because there's always some people falling off. It's tough out there. We get it. You know, $6 a month is $6 a month to someone who can't afford it. But if you can't afford it, sign up. Hey, maybe if you can afford a bunch, you can gift some memberships out to other people. You give them away in the show. Hey, here's an idea. Maybe we'll give a couple away for Christmas. I don't know how we could work that, but maybe we could figure it out. We don't really know who's listening, so you'd have to like tune into the live so we could do it. I don't know how that could work. Maybe we think about it. Anyway, it'd be way easier if you just signed up for the $6. I mean, just sign up for 1 month and like download everything and then cancel. That would still be $6 more than we had yesterday. So GrammaticOutlawed.ca. Sign up today. Check out Grammarica.ca for the podcast. Contact at thecabin.com if you want to come to Easter Island with us. Do you want to start us off in that second half, Graham?
Sure. I'm going to go back to what we talked about on our Saturday show. We did a Saturday podcast. We talked a lot about BC and the land claims and stuff like that. So this is one of the most interesting First Nations land claims in Canada, as they are fully triggered by Quebec, who isn't participating in the nonsense. So here, I'm going to play this 2-minute clip here.